We're taking a look at this pin oak here. I've been looking after this tree for a few years, mostly tip work though. And you can see it's probably been probably 8-10 years since the tips were cut back. Now these cuts look a little more recent than that. I don't think I made them. I think I missed the last round. I was kind of out of action for a couple years there, but you could take a look at these cuts and say, well, you know something? Those look like they have nice, even callous growth all around in a perfect circle. And you could say those are pretty well made cuts. You would think, right? I personally wouldn't have made them. I would have made 3 cuts like that right next to each other on the main stem of this tree. I would have tried to preserve a branch, or maybe 2, cut one back, let it die off naturally, whatever. But here's the question and the point of this video. The reason I'm making this video is not to show you some old cuts on this tree, but let's look at this tree. Let's look at this sprout here. The epicormic shoot popping right out of the edge of that wound right there. Question is, why? It's what I always want to know when I'm looking at trees. Why? Why is the tree doing what it's doing? Why, when I make the chainsaw cut, does the piece act the way it does? And so, the tree, it looks like it's getting pretty good amount of light. You can see here, I mean, that's the summer sun beating down. You would think this side of the tree is getting enough light that it could pop out a few more sprouts. Maybe it's not worth it, but so I decided to pop one sprout out. Oh, wait a second, hold on. Let's take a look here. It popped a bunch out right around that cut there. You see that cut? And then that's you know, it's so hard to see because it's covered itself. The way that one regrew there. Now the question, but I want to know of these 3 cuts, why did the tree put a sprout out there? Why? We'll take a look at this tree and you can think about it for a minute, okay? We got pretty good sun on the trunk of the tree. And man, I don't know why. You know, the only reason I think he would have taken those branches out to make room for his bucket truck. I don't know why he would have taken those branches out like that. When he left everything else over the house, like it's like, you know, there's branches within like 10 feet of the house over here. And there's nothing here within 35, 40 feet of the ground. But why? Okay, so why did the tree put the sprout out there? And so there's a big codom down here. You see that? That's the main codominant stem in the tree. And that looks like it's pretty well jointed, doesn't it? Nice overlapping fibers between the 2 sides. Good solid room. There's still room in the crotch for there's not really included bark at this point. And here's another one. That's the secondary codominant stem. And that's still got a little room in it. But my guess is that these 2 cuts, these 2 lower cuts right there, are actually at level or above the level of that codominant there. But this one is below. It's just a guess, folks. That wound is below the codom. And by the time the decay gets through there, it may weaken up that codom. So I think the tree put the sprout on there to strengthen up that particular cut, create more new wood around that particular cut, that particular area of the tree, because it's trying to protect this codom over here. It doesn't need the protection from the other codom. Just a guess. What do you guys think?